Managers Week, powered by Citrix, rolls on with one of our favorites. You know, of all the things I'm looking forward to in 2021, I'm hoping this COVID stuff goes away and I can watch Dusty Baker smile again in the dugout. One of the best smiles in baseball history. Don't have that mask covered up. Dusty Baker joins us on MLB Tonight. Dusty, good to see you, man. Have you had time to reflect on the season that you walked into, and how proud are you? I know you don't like to talk about yourself, but how proud are you of your performance leading this team with so much turmoil going into the year, through COVID, through it all? How would you look back on the year?
Well, I never think about, what I did. I think about more what the players did. Yeah, I mean, it was a difficult year, all the isolation that everybody went through, especially on the road, where you can't, this is where teams mesh back together. But, something, these guys, I mean, they're winners, and, they're strong but sensitive. And, they guaranteed me, man, once we get to the playoffs, we'll be a different team. And they were. And, Altuve and Correa and Bregman, all of them, they all said, hey, man, we just want to get to the playoffs. Because I was worried there for a while. We were losing a whole bunch of games in the 8th and 9th. We had a very young bullpen, so you had some guys that were banged up and injured, but these guys, they came to play. And, some unit, I'm proud to wear that uniform of the Astros.
Dusty, I think what was remarkable down the stretch was the improvement and your young starting pitching and how it stepped up late September and into October.
That's true. And I'm telling you, I mean, we had a bunch of guys, especially guys out of the bullpen, because, we were kind of built for the playoffs, where you can put, some of the guys in the bullpen that were starters during that short season. But the thing about it is these guys had to adjust, to pitching out of the bullpen. I mean, you know how it is, man. Dan, it's difficult to make that adjustment and on the fly. It was like on the job learning for these guys, because they didn't have 50 pitches to warm up. They didn't have the rubber ball and the rubber band and this and that and the long toss. They learned how to get loose. They learned a lot from Presley and some of the guys in the bullpen. And, we're all very proud of them. And I'm just hoping that we can continue this during a 162-game season versus a shortened season.
Dusty, it's Dave Valley. You kind of walked into a whirlwind, first the scandal and then the pandemic, something that no one has ever experienced before. What was the toughest part of it for you as a manager?
The toughest part was to learn the players and have the players learn about me, I think. Because we were just learning each other in spring training, the first phase of spring training. And then, then we had the stoppage, and then we had a short period of time, to evaluate the players, for them to learn, my tendencies, to learn kind of, what made me happy and, what kind of made me kind of sad on the other hand. And, I had to learn these guys, the personalities of these guys. I mean, I know we're in a day of numbers, but this is a people's game. You got to see if personality changes in somebody. If a guy talks a lot and all of a sudden he's quiet, something's wrong. Or if a guy is quiet and he start talking a lot, and then you say, okay, what's going on? But you don't want to pry. But at the same time, you realize that you have a very short period of time to kind of learn each other and then play as a unit.
Dusty, one guy that didn't stop talking was Carlos Correa. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he become the vocal leader of this team in 2020?
Well, yeah. And, like I wasn't there before, so I didn't know, who was the vocal leader, at the time. We do have some quiet guys, but at the same time, Carlos is a very intelligent person. And, he says what he feels. I urge my guys to, be themselves, but you do have to be guarded to a degree, because that you're going to have to answer for what your statements are. But, Carlos is a guy that's not afraid to say what he feels. We need those kind of people in the world. And, Carlos is a guy that's respected on this team, and everybody, listens to him. But even though he's not, the oldest, but he's a defender of his teammates. And that's the thing I love about this team, is that these guys are a very close unit.
Dusty, it's Dan again. You have a couple of guys that are pending free agents. George Springer, you had a chance to sit in the dugout and watch this guy for an entire year. Give me your impressions of George Springer.
Well, you know, George was just getting hot. I mean, this guy had the toughest luck in the first 30 or so games, and you know, he wasn't used to playing, you know, the way he was playing. But you know, but George Springer can hit. I mean, he can play. I mean, this guy is fearless. You know, he goes to the plate and then he plays a game, you know, with high intelligence, and plays a game with high, you know, he's an emotional guy, and you know, I love watching him hit, and I love watching him play.
I loved watching you get fired up in the dugout. It was so much fun to watch, Dusty. You're still a joy to watch manage. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.